Good morning. I hope this finds y'all well. I've got a story to share with you if you care to listen in. This story is about a little old lady, and she goes down and she sits by this pond every Sunday. And there's this neighbor that drives by all the time and sees her. He always wondered what she was doing down there. So one day he decided to walk on down there and ask her what was going on. And when he got down there, he saw a small little cage, and inside that cage was a couple of turtles. And he looked down at her hand, and she was rubbing on the turtle's shell, getting all the algae off of its back. And he asked her exactly, "What are you doing?" She said, "Well, you see, these algae gets on these little turtles' backs, and it weighs them down and makes them real hard for them to move around. But worse than that, it causes the sun not to be able to penetrate into their bodies. And in worst case scenarios, they basically freeze to death." And he thought for a minute. He said, "Wow, how many turtles you think are in this pond?" And she said, "I don't know." He says, "There's got to be hundreds, maybe thousands." She nodded her head in agreement. They said, "How many turtles you think are in the world?" "There's got to be thousands or millions or more than that." And then once again, she nodded her head. And he said, "No offense, ma'am, but don't you think there's better things that you could do with your time?" And she just laughed at him. And she said, "You know, if this turtle could talk, he'd tell you that it mattered to him. He can get around a whole lot better, and he can feel that heat. It changed his life tremendously." You see, sometimes in life we don't get involved in things because they're too big. We stand off in the distance and think, "Man, there's nothing I can do. It's way bigger than me. It's not going to make any difference." Well, let me tell you what the Lord has to say about that. The Lord says, "Let your light shine before men in such a way that they may see your good works and glorify your Father who is in heaven." So don't be discouraged when you feel something that you ought to be doing. You know, you feel the Lord tugging on your heart to get involved. And don't think it's just way too big, because nothing's too big for God. So God bless you, and enjoy the rest of your weekend.